Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Gauff Pegula kickstarts Cincinnati campaigns with wins. WDA rankings top. Number 2 seeded Coco Gauff mastered herself and opponent Wang Xinyu with a 6-3, 6-2 victory in 70 minutes to reach the third round at the Cincinnati Masters. Gauff has now won her 6th opening match and 8 WDA 1000s this year. She'll meet number 32 Diana Yastremska, a 6-4, 2-6, 6-2 winner over Victoria Tomova on Tuesday. Gauff has beaten Yastremska 3 of 4 times. Gauff is one of 8 Americans in the WDA rankings top 50 and the 5th to advance to the third round. Saturday saw number 5 Amata Anisimova, number 6 Madison Keys, and wild card Taylor Townsend get through. On Sunday, Gauff was joined by another 21-year-old, Ashlyn Kruger, who was a 6-4, 0-6, 6-3 winner over Anastasia Sevastova, WTA reports. Later, number 4 Jessica Pegula equaled her former doubles partner with a 6-4, 6-3 victory over Kimberly Birrell. Next for Pegula is number 31 Magdalene, who beat Rebecca Shramkova 7-6-4. 6-0. Only Aryna Sabalenka, 47, and Iga Swiatek, 44, have won more matches this year at the WDA level than Pegula's 37. Number 8 seed Emma Navarro fell to qualifier Ella Seidel 6-4, 1-6, 6-4. Seidel, a 20-year-old German ranked number 124, gets the winner of the later match between Americans Katie McNally and McCartney Kessler. Earlier, number 7 Jasmine Paolini advanced in 2 fluctuating tiebreak sets, 7-6-2, 7-6-5, over Maria Sakkari. However, number 17 Belinda Bencic fell 6-4, 7-6-0, to Veronika Kudermetova in the 11th edition of their rivalry. Meanwhile, number 3 Iga Swiatek and number 23 Elena Ostapenko both advanced via walkover. Swiatek had been due to face number 25 Marta Kostyuk in Monday's third-round action, but the Ukrainian was forced to withdraw due to a right wrist injury. Earlier, number 7 Jasmine Paolini advanced in 2 fluctuating tiebreak sets, 7-6-2, 7-6-5, over Maria Sakkari. However, number 17 Belinda Bencic fell 6-4, 7-6-0, to Veronika Kudermetova in the 11th edition of their rivalry. Ostapenko will face Lucia Bronzetti in the third round. Swiatek will play either Sorana Cîrstea or a lucky loser Yuan Yu in the fourth round. The August sun hung low over the Ohio River, casting long shadows across the hard courts of the Lindner Family Tennis Center. The cicadas were loud, as they always were this time of year, buzzing like 1,000 anxious hearts. Inside center court, however, all was silent, at least until Coco Gauff let out a defiant roar. It was only the opening round of the Cincinnati Open, but it felt like more. The stakes weren't Grand Slams. No trophy had yet been hoisted, but there was something about the air, charged with ambition, destiny, and the weight of a long, hot summer on tour. And into that air stepped 2 women, Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula, both American, both ranked among the world's best, and both carrying the hopes of a crowd hungry for a new era of U.S. dominance. This wasn't just the start of a campaign. It was the spark before a wildfire. Chapter 1, The Comeback Queen. At just 21, Coco Gauff had already lived a dozen lifetimes in tennis years. From her meteoric rise at Wimbledon in 2019 to her Grand Slam triumph at the 2023 U.S. Open, Gauff's career had been anything but linear. She had stumbled, she had soared, and now, in the heat of Cincinnati, she was looking for momentum heading into the 2025 U.S. Open. Her first-round opponent, Martina Hesse, a crafty Austrian who had quietly built a reputation for upsetting higher seeds. The match began with nerves. Gauff double-faulted twice in the opening game, but then, like someone flipping a switch, she turned into the Coco the crowd remembered. Aggressive on the baseline, quick to the net, and fearless with her forehand. "I felt flat at first," Gauff admitted after the match, toweling off sweat in the press room. "But then I looked around, the crowd, the energy, the summer vibe, and I thought, okay, let's go." She went all right. After losing the first set in a tiebreak, Gauff stormed back 6-2, 6-1, closing the match with an ace that left Hesse shaking her head. The crowd erupted, not just because she won, but because she did it with flair. Gauff was more than a player. She was performer, and Cincinnati had just gotten a front-row seat. Chapter 2, The Calm Storm. If Gauff was the fire, Jessica Pegula was the ice. At 31, Pegula was the veteran, steady, calculating, and deceptively powerful. She walked onto the court with little fanfare, no dramatic entrance, just her usual businesslike demeanor. But make no mistake, Pegula meant business. Her opponent, young Spaniard Lucia Romero, was a rising star fresh off a deep run in Toronto. The media had been hyping Romero's athleticism, calling her the next big thing. Pegula, however, was not one to be swayed by headlines. The match lasted just over 80 minutes. Pegula dismantled Romero 6-3, 6-2, barely breaking a sweat, moving like a chess master through each rally, each point. It wasn't flashy, it was clinical. I just focused on the fundamentals, Pegula said later. Serve well. Stay aggressive. Play smart. And smart she played. With pinpoint backhands and calm under pressure, Pegula reminded the world that while youth is exciting, experience is a weapon. Chapter 3, American Dreams. For years, American tennis fans had lived in the long shadow of Serena and Venus Williams. As their era began to sunset, the question loomed: who would carry the torch? In Cincinnati, the answer seemed clearer. Gauff, with her magnetic energy and already impressive resume, had the potential to dominate the tour for years to come. Pegula, the late-blooming powerhouse, was the strategic cornerstone of the American resurgence, a player who won with her brain as much as her racket. Together, they represented not just individual talent, but a movement. It's a good time to be an American, Gauff said with a grin during a post-match interview. We push each other, we support each other, and we want to see each other win. Indeed, in the locker rooms and practice courts of Cincinnati, there was a camaraderie among the U.S. players, a sense that something was building. With the U.S. Open just weeks away, Cincinnati was more than a tournament. It was a proving ground. Chapter 4, Beyond the Scoreline. But what made their wins resonate wasn't just the tennis. It was the stories. Gauff, who'd grown up in the social media spotlight, had learned to navigate the pressure with a poise well beyond her years. She had become an advocate for mental health, speaking openly about the highs and lows of life on tour. Winning is great, she once said, but being happy with who you are, that's the real victory. Pegula, meanwhile, had built her career in the shadows of others' expectations. Despite being the daughter of billionaires, she forged her own path in the sport, grinding through injuries and setbacks to become one of the WTA's most respected competitors. People think it was handed to me, she once told a reporter, but tennis doesn't care about your last name. In Cincinnati, those narratives collided beautifully. Two women at different stages of life, united by a shared drive, chasing greatness with every swing. Chapter 5, The Road Ahead. With first-round wins under their belts, both Gauff and Pegula now looked toward tougher draws. World number 1 Iga Swiatek lurked in Gauff's half of the bracket. Aryna Sabalenka, Elena Rybakina, and Naomi Osaka were all threats. But the Americans weren't worried. You don't win a title on day one, Pegula said, but you can set the tone. And tone they had set. The crowd in Cincinnati was already buzzing with USA chants. Flags waved. Kids screamed their names. Gauff danced to the court playlist between changeovers. Pegula cracked a rare smile after landing a perfect serve and volley combo. For the fans, it wasn't just tennis, it was theater. And the protagonists were finally homegrown. Epilogue, The Promise. As the night cooled and the stadium lights dimmed, a familiar Cincinnati summer hush returned. But the excitement lingered in the halls, the headlines, and the hearts of those who had witnessed day one. Gauff and Pegula had done more than win matches. They'd made a statement that this was their time, that the next chapter in American tennis wasn't in the distant future, it was happening now. And Cincinnati, with all its Midwestern charm and summer heat, had been the perfect stage. The campaign had begun, and if their first steps were any indication, the rest of the tennis world better keep up.